people are asleep and dreaming.
Welcome back to the UIS. First off, we got stuff to talk about.
When it comes to sleeping, I have to tell you that I'm a pretty good sleeper. I can fall asleep easily and sleep throughout the night. However, I recently experienced something during my sleep I have never gone through before. I went through a terrible, sleepless night. What I can tell you right away is sleep paralysis is a horrific experience. Regardless of what type of sleep paralysis you experience, all types could leave you in shock for weeks. There are 3 types of sleep paralysis: intruder hallucinations, vestibular motor hallucinations, and chest pressure hallucinations. Vestibular motor hallucinations are when you feel you are floating in the air. It's like an out-of-body experience. Chest pressure hallucinations are when you see and feel a creature or a human pressing on your chest and have difficulty breathing. Today I want to share my intruder hallucinations. I warn you, it is damn scary. It is when you see a dangerous and harmful creature or human silhouette in the room where you are sleeping. And that's exactly what happened. Before I start, it's worth mentioning that I'd been really tired for days. Staying up late had become a habit. Something didn't feel quite right. I had these weird dreams, heard odd noises at night. I thought it was all just because of my lack of sleep. I have a feeling those signs were leading up to the scariest night ever. So let's get into it. I went to bed and fell asleep as usual. However, my good rest turned into a bizarre nightmare. I suddenly found myself in a horror movie scene. Seriously, I was threatened. The next thing I knew, I was fully awake. The bedroom was really dark. The curtains were closed, but dim light sneaked in from the streetlight. Of course, that makes strange shapes on the walls, making things worse. Outside, a bright moon made it not so dark. I could hear late-night buses and cars passing by, which added to the spooky feeling. With my eyes open, I saw a black male silhouette right next to my bed. In the corner of my eye, my wife is sleeping right next to me. I was like, what the hell is going on here? I tried to wake my wife up, but then realized I couldn't move. Unable to move my arms to nudge her at all. The only body parts I could move were my eyes. Nothing else. I was paralyzed. I was frozen. Felt like I was tied to my bed. Fully aware of my surroundings, I knew exactly where I was. So vulnerable, and nobody could help me. The silhouette came closer and closer to me. I saw every step of him towards me. As he was approaching me, I had nothing else in mind but what would happen. How am I going to survive? I couldn't move. Fear filled my mind. Thought about my wife sleeping next to me, unaware of what was happening. My heart raced. I wanted to wake her up, but I couldn't. My fear kept growing as the pitch black figure got closer. Felt trapped. It's like I was in a scary dream I couldn't escape from. It was really frightening, and I just wanted it to stop. So I asked him, "Why are you here? What do you want from me?" And he said, "I'm here to harm you." I kind of thought that, and from that moment, there was nothing I could do to stop him. Then he started to punch me in the face. Felt a terrible pain, physically, emotionally. Pain in my face and my heart at the same time. I was devastated and helpless. This continuous harm took a few minutes. All of a sudden, I felt my body, lighter. I was able to move my arms. First reaction was to punch him back. So I did. Punching and punching with my fist in the air like an idiot. Then the silhouette suddenly disappeared. My only luck was I was in the middle of the bed, in the middle of the room. Nowhere near any walls. Can you imagine if I punched the wall several times? Hard as I possibly could. From the next day onward, I just kept the whole experience to myself. Didn't even want to talk about it. It had hit me so hard, I only hoped it wouldn't happen again. I finally decided to tell my wife about it, but even weeks after the episode, my voice and whole body were trembling. Experts say that sleep paralysis occurs when your body wakes up, but your brain is still in dream mode. So it's like your body's on lockdown while your mind's awake and fully aware. That's why it can feel so real and terrifying. There's more to it, too. They've found that sleep paralysis can mess with your mental state, leaving you feeling all sorts of emotions, from fear to helplessness. It's not just a bad dream, it's a real phenomenon that can mess with your head. Learning about this from experts, it kind of adds some weight to what happened to me that night. It's not just a spooky story, it's a documented thing that people go through. It's like a window into this strange and unsettling world of sleep. And that is the story. And it's not my story. Welcome, everyone. This is what I'm calling All Good People Are Asleep and Dreaming. It's a little bit different from me. I'm trying to do something a little different every now and again. Having an actual show with an actual point to it. And tonight's point is sleep paralysis. So this is not my story. This story is by a man named Peter Molnar. And I wanted to read this story because I've had experiences like this in the past. Not quite like this, but where I couldn't move. I think we've all had experiences where, you feel like even as simple as you're falling and you're sleeping and you fall in the dream and then you jerk awake or something like that. I think we've all had that happen to us. And there's been plenty of times where I'm just sleeping and my mind plays tricks on me. I feel like something like pushing down on the bed. You can not quite as severe as what this person went through, but it has happened. And I'm trying to find out from any of you if you've had stuff like this happen to you. And I want to make this a show, not about sleep paralysis, but things like sleep paralysis, like hell, even UFO stuff, abductions. And I thought that we could even do a call-in show, which I do have that ready to go to everybody, which is right here. And I'm going to take a moment now to take a look at the chat and see what's going on. We have family, too important, that UIS guy. We got Buzz in chat, welcome. H-Bomb, welcome. Patrick Stevens, I had a similar experience. The figure was not a silhouette. It had distinct human features, except the hands. And we have Patty Glasseye. Hey, what's up? Welcome. So I want to make this show a little bit less media heavy, where I'm showing videos all the time. And this is not going to be an every night thing. I want to try to do this kind of a show maybe once a week or something like that. And so if I seem a little silly reading everything in the chat, that's why, just so I can maybe turn this into some sort of podcast and not be so dependent on video. And so this may not be an extremely long episode. I did some research today and yesterday and the day before. I kind of wanted a little bit more time, but the more time I take, the more I talk myself out of things. And so no, we don't want to do that. We don't want to talk myself out of doing things. And so I've been really looking at a lot of sleep paralysis stuff, not only just being a mental thing, but there are people who claim it could be something supernatural happening that is causing the sleep paralysis. Some, it's just you're too tired. And then there's, of course, it's aliens. It's always aliens. Let's see what we got here. However, this family says, however, I did see a shadow person in the backyard. He was trying to break the fence because he was trying to get in. I was a kid when this happened. And back to Patrick Stevens, who had said that he had a similar experience, but the figure was not a silhouette. It was a distinct human feature. If you or anyone else want to talk about this, we are going to be doing a regular old call-in show. So phone lines are open. I was too shocked to freak out. The crazy part is my brother didn't see it or hear it. That definitely sounds like something I would not want to experience, family. Turn this music down here. And so there's also a video game about it. I just said that I'm not going to make this real media heavy, and then I go straight into talking about a video game, of course. Sleep paralysis demon. Yes, that is another one. Patty Glasseye. Yeah, there's creatures, animals just sitting on your chest. A lot of this goes back to, hell, even cats. A lot of old people, real superstitious about letting cats sleep in the bed with you because they'll sleep on your chest and steal your breath like in that movie Cat's Eye. And so I did want to show, even though I said I won't make it very media heavy, we will show a little bit of this game that goes into sleep paralysis. And actually, it's the point of the game is sleep paralysis. And so we're going to switch over to that just real quick. Not really going to play it. Just want to show kind of what it is about. Okay. All right. Got my video on the screen. Okay. The game is called Silent Still. And so I've already played to the point where you actually go to bed. And so now it's just, oh, wait, I can't move or speak. What's happening? And of course, my character, definitely not me, because there's no way in hell I could sleep in a bed with my feet uncovered. I mean, that's how you lose toes. So I'm definitely a tuck, very tightly tucked. Blankets, sheets, everything all tucked into one tight little package. And so in this game, you basically have to move around. Then things start happening. And so we're not going to play this game. I just want to get to the point where he's actually having the sleep paralysis right now, can't move. But it's one of those games where you can't just sit there and wait for it to happen. You have to manually move around before things start going on. And so while that's doing, I'm going to read chat a little bit. Let's see. Can move normally. Pressure sensation. See, of course, Buzz says, I wouldn't call it a sleep paralysis or something similar, but one time when I was really sick with pneumonia, I felt an incredible weight pushing down on me while laying in bed. Could move normally, but just felt like I wouldn't be able to. Maybe similar to the pressure sensation you mentioned, just while fully awake. Okay, so now we see I'm lying in bed, the light just came on, and now I see a creature. Who's that in the kitchen? My sleeping character says. I'm sure if I look away and then look, she's gonna be gone. Nope. Yep, now she's gone, lights are off. Now, I must say, if I was in bed and this was happening to me and I was having this going on, yeah, it would definitely be freaking out a little bit. I'm not sure if this is common with sleep paralysis. It seems a little bit more than just not being able to move and then having pressure or having a silhouette come at you or on top of you. I mean, here you're seeing lights come on and off. You're seeing actual people. And there she is standing in the doorway. I assume, yeah, hey, who are you? Hey, answer me. What the? Okay, light goes out again. She's gone. Now my lights are flickering in my room. I hear something moving around. I'm not sure if you can hear it as good as I can because of the headset. Lights are back on. That looked incredibly fake, but whatever. Music is starting, so I'm sure something awful is going to happen soon. And so in this game, when I made my way to bed for the first night, it said the first experience. So I guess in this game, you're supposed to have many of these. Okay, I've got to press the letter E to try to move my body. Okay, so that did nothing. It's not working. I still can't move. And I'm sure there's going to be a jump scare here in just a moment. Someone just said, now we got a hand. And we've got a creepy figure. Now it's gone. And the jump scare should come any moment. Okay, now it looks like everything's fine. I look up and nope, no jump scare. It's coming though. I'm sure it is. There it is. All right, so there's our jump scare. And that's all I'm going to play of this game. What was that? I know it's just a dream, but it feels so real. Now, I can't say whether or not that this is true, that the feeling that people get from sleep paralysis, if it's anything like that, anybody's ever had something like that happen. Let's go to the 2 screen so we can got the number up there. Let's see what we got here. All right, we got back to Patrick Stevens, who chimed in a little earlier. The figure in my dreams held my ankles and wrist with these cold, bony hands with really long fingers. My wife said I woke her moving around, but I looked at her and said everything is fine, and fell right back to sleep without a word or a movement. And so it could all be in our minds that this stuff happens. It's really crazy how our minds can control so much, make us believe things that aren't there, that aren't real. which, always good for the conspiracy theorist and all of us, people who like to believe that we are in the Matrix, and we can just be made to believe that this, I'm really touching this, that this is real. But it could all just be electrical signals being made to make us think that. And that's another one of the things that I kind of want to make this particular show about, is that kind of stuff. I mean, yes, it might be a little bit of a modern ripoff of Art Bell. That's fine. I mean, who wouldn't want to be the next Art Bell, But I have no grand illusion that I'm going to become the next Art Bell, but I want to go into stuff that he would talk about on his show, because I've always loved stuff like this. Stuff with aliens, stuff with like we went into a few nights ago about how I thought that the aliens that people see with the gray skin and the giant eyes were really just humans that had time traveled or have already gone to space for many, many years, have evolved, their eyes got bigger from different lights, their skin color changed because they're, different pigments or whatever. And then like 2 or 3 days later, the channel called the Y-Files released a video of basically the exact same thing about, I guess, some person in history who claimed to have gotten a phone call from an AI computer in the future that basically told him the exact same thing, that aliens are just time-traveling humans. So, and again, that's just weird how those kind of coincidences happen, that you think about one thing and next thing you know, it happens, or you hear about it again. I mean, a lot of it can be explained these days. You do a search on something, and then hell, the next thing you know, you've got all these videos popping up on your YouTube feed or on your Facebook page. And I'm sure the older people out there would freak out about it. But we know that everything's connected. The things that you search on Google or something is going to make its way into Facebook's algorithm, or, of course, YouTube's algorithm. That it's not just because you search for something on Google doesn't mean that it's not going to make its way into what you're seeing on other websites or other, social media platforms. But even still, there's been many times where I think about some particular movie, some particular person, actor, whatever, and then or a band, and then lo and behold, they just put out a new album. But I don't remember ever looking it up or ever, doing any research on them. Hadn't thought about this band in years. So it's not like they would be announced on any radio. I don't listen to the radio anyways. It's just coincidences that have a hard time explaining just why these things just all of a sudden happen. All right, let's see what we got here in chat. Let's see. If I had something wise to say, I would call. Thank you, Mike Demand. And yeah, even if you don't have anything wise to say, or if you just want to be on the show, we've tried to do call-ins before. It never really went forward with it, but really want to definitely try. If we don't get a single phone call tonight, I'm not going to be discouraged. That's just how it goes. This is the first episode of this thing, so I am definitely my expectations are low. H-Bomb says it's pretty wild. I swear, something I just think about, then all of a sudden it's all over my feed. Yeah, and like I said, if you did a search for it, it's like, being modern humans, we know that does it. It happens. It automatically goes into the algorithm of every other damn website you go to. But when you think about something and it starts to happen, that's what freaks me out a little bit. Someone call in and use the rack soundboard. The things that make us laugh, that make us cry, Big Smoke. I don't know what that's in reference to, family. So just like my intro where I had my tinfoil hat, maybe we should all be wearing tinfoil hats, so that way when we think stuff, it won't make its way everywhere else. And it's not just about what you think, because it's not like you're making stuff happen, of course, with the thoughts that you have. Like for instance, the band thing I was talking about, where there's some band you haven't listened to in years and you just decide to check them out. And then, damn, they just released an album like days before. It's like you didn't put that in the world to where they went out and made an album in a day and released it that same moment. No, maybe someone put that in your mind to look for it. Again, that's probably government conspiracies as well. So I do have some other stuff that I wanted to look at with you guys tonight. I did have another sleep paralysis story, which you may or may not want to hear me drone on about. But I also have a couple of short videos. One is by iAnimate38 channel with about 7,500 subscribers. Made a 5-minute video, I guess animated, about his or her sleep paralysis story. Also have several sleep paralysis 360 videos, which, that was a big thing a couple of years ago, but it could be interesting to look at. And I also have this one video that shows a sleep paralysis attack actually happening. So, all things we want to take a look at. So, I'm going to go over to a different screen to where we can watch this. All right. Change over to a different monitor. All right. So, this is by Peter5930. A 4-minute video. It's not really exciting, but I guess you can you'll see. There's not a whole lot going on in the video. It's just time lapse, so I don't know exactly how long he actually was sleeping for. You can see his eyes open several times, and it would have been nice if he maybe added some text to it or something like that, saying, this is when something started happening, or cut to the point where it just started happening. Like maybe this was it right here. All right, I hate to be that guy, but I want to flip forward until we actually see something. So to be honest, this does not really look like a sleep paralysis video. It looks like a guy sleeping who's tossing and turning a little bit, not really having a bad night. I remember the days when I could sleep on my back, but no, I can't do that anymore. Snore too much. And also from years, here we go, something's going on. Years of having cats have made me stray away from sleeping on my back. Because if you've ever had cats, you know that they bolt across the room all the time. It doesn't matter what surface they're on. They don't even need a surface to run across. And they basically have laser focused their feet on my balls. So, yeah. To avoid that, you learn not to sleep on your back or with cats around. I think he's about to wake up. Like I said, this is not... maybe if you look at some of the comments or look at the description of the video, maybe he'll give us some insight of what actually happened here, but for the most part, it does not look like a sleep paralysis video. Michael Jackson would sleep for hours so he can get hit songs from God, but he was summoning demons. All right, time-lapse video of one of my paralysis episodes, played at 16 speed. The episode lasted about an hour, but it's condensed down to 4 minutes. And see, they talk about that. I can never do that. I'll sleep with his boots on. Yeah, that's a nice comment. It sucks when you finally escape from the sleep paralysis and wake up, but your eyes are so heavy and you fall back asleep and it happens again. Okay, I don't wish sleep paralysis. Okay. I thought that someone's about to say the exact same thing I'm saying, that I don't see sleep paralysis in this. And maybe it's not as exciting as I think it would be. I mean, you are basically paralyzed. So it's not like you can freak out and scream and do whatever. It would all be in your head. And that would be probably one of the worst things. Let's see, now this one here was a true sleep paralysis horror story. That's someone actually reading something. Sleep paralysis or alien encounters. And this one right here was the animated one. All right, so this one is a 360 video, and I think so is this one. This one's a little bit newer, which looks a lot like the game we were just playing. Just call me over if you're having night terrors again, okay? And remember, your flashlight's right here. Why are you leaving? Why are you wearing boots and a nightie? Okay, this is a 360 horror film, so there's nothing we can do except watch. And move around, though. But hey, if there's something on the screen you don't want to see, you just do that. Like, nope, I'm not watching. All right, so the door is creaking open. And this also seems like a lot of things that would happen when you're a kid, that you see things, you see a door opening, but did it really open, or did it open to the extent that you are seeing it open. Like maybe the door was cracked, but in your mind, you see it being closed and actually opening right in front of you. Where in reality, nothing happened. It just was always open. Now that is a spacious closet. Now I gotta say that knocking at the door freaked me out a little bit. I mean, that was, I don't know if anybody's wearing headphones at all watching this, let me know if that affected you in your right ear only like it did me.
Hey, are you okay?
We got long fingers. Yeah, she definitely has something going on with her feet, making that loud ass sound. All right, this is apparently in 4K, but it does not look like 4K to me. But it's a couple of years old. Sweet, he just got a new iPhone. Give the songs to Prince. All right, we got a whole conspiracy theory thing going on here about Michael Jackson and Prince in chat. Michael Jackson would sleep for hours so he could get hit songs from God, but he was summoning demons. In Michael Jackson's last days, he had a hard time sleeping, so he was drugged heavily. This entity told Michael, if you don't get enough sleep, I'll give the hit songs to Prince. I think it wasn't it Cat Williams doing a comedy special about the old days of Prince versus Michael Jackson and how a lot of people liked Michael Jackson, a lot of people liked Prince. But in the end, I think Prince won just from being a better person. Christmas. All right, this does not really seem like sleep paralysis anymore because the guy is up and moving. He's trying to open a door. This seems more like a 360 bad dream and not a sleep paralysis anymore. We gave it a shot, you know. And so back to the story I read at the very beginning, I did want to show this guy's stuff a little bit more. So this is the guy here that we read his story, Peter Molnar. So just there you go. If anyone wants more information about old Peter, he seems to have lots of thoughts on the universe's infinite energy, astral plane, viewpoints on existence and divine justice, and of course, sleep paralysis. So I'm going to drop his link in chat for the site called Medium. We got Medusa Jr. in chat. Good to see you. Have you ever had any kind of feelings of sleep paralysis, Medusa? Sorry, I was sticking to dream. No, family, you can talk about anything you want to. I'm just I'm not accustomed to reading chat like this, so I'm trying to make it not so obvious, and trying to merge it in and not sound so like scripted or whatever. So Medusa, would you like to call? Would you like to call and talk about your sleep paralysis? No pressure or anything. We got a messed up chat box there. So if you do, we've got the number right there. I've not tested this, so it could be a massive failure, but it might not be. And I know that Medusa, let's see, browser. Medusa has talked in chat many times, talked on panel many times. So why not do it the old school way and pick up a phone? Let's have a good old call-in show. We've tried to have a call-in show many, many times on this channel. I think we've taken one phone call, and that was a couple of years ago when a guy named Shaggy called in. And we eventually switched to Discord because we couldn't get it to work. You know, technology was a little different back then, where now it's all Google Voice anyways. Real phones never even have to be involved. All right, we have an incoming call. Let's see what we've got. Hello, you are on the air.
Wow.
Medusa, good to hear from you.
Hey, good to hear from you as well, man. How's Florida?
It's good. It's going great. Going great. It's cool, like in the 60s. So not as humid as it normally is around here. It's that time of year. We don't get the changing of the colors and the trees. We just get a little bit cooler weather.
Right.
And so I don't know if you've watched the entire show or if you're just tuning in now, but we are.
I just got to tune in.
Did you? Well, we are trying something a little different tonight. This is not the normal show. I'm trying to do an actual show that maybe we do like once a week, where it deals with, not only supernatural stuff, UFO stuff, conspiracy theories, sleep paralysis, whether that be, from being too tired, from if you want to think of it as something supernatural happening, or aliens even,
I'm not too sure about aliens doing it. Yeah, I just, no place I've ever lived in has been sparse enough where I can think aliens. I mean, I've seen all the movies back in the day, but...
Yeah. It seems like you have to be in a special kind of place to really... You have to be like in an alien hotspot, like Nevada, or places where there's wide open sky. It always seems like big sky country, they call it, I guess.
Yeah, well, I mean, they've said that for years about areas like Montana, yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's like, I'm not going to see that around here. I live in Florida. I got, the beach right, you would think maybe you would see something over the ocean, but probably, not really.
You're more likely to get a kaiju coming out.
Maybe, exactly. Yeah, get Godzilla coming up off the coast. But yeah, I've never had any kind of supernatural or alien or anything like that. I feel like I'm missing out. Then again,
as for myself, growing up,
mm-hmm.
I had a lot of deja vus growing up, a lot.
Yeah,
and it pop up in my dreams, like to let me know that it was a deja vu. It's like at the end of every time there'd be like red and blue lights flashing.
Yeah,
but then like a week or two later, the event would happen. Honestly, it got so unnerving to me that I started drinking just so I could like sleep through without dreaming.
Yeah. We kind of talked about that a little bit ago, about how sometimes we think of things or think of certain like subjects, and then all of a sudden they become relevant. Like you think about an old band you used to like, and then you just go for some reason, like say Spotify, and check them out. And goddamn, they released a new album yesterday. And it's like, how did that get in your head? How did that happen? And I've definitely had some deja vu stuff too. I mean, that's really one of the reasons I was nicknamed Prophet, years and years ago by my friends for freaking them out. It wasn't deja vu, it was just memory. They would tell me stuff when they were drunk or whatever, and it would just go in the vault. And then I would regurgitate it later on and freak them the out because they didn't remember they told me this secret thing about themselves. And so it happened many times. And
that's a pretty nice little Cedar Point stage trick.
Yeah. And so there are some occasions where I don't know, I freak myself out sometimes. But I don't really know if I believe in ESP.
I do.
And if it does happen, I don't think I can do it. I think a lot of it is coincidences, but there's been stuff that happens that I can't explain.
I kid you not. I had a creepy nightmare about a bunch of people dying the night before 9/11.
Mm-hmm.
And then, or no, it was like, no, I was still awake. That's right. I was there with my friend. We were drinking scotch. And then I had this weird feeling where half my body, like you were saying, sleep paralysis.
Mm-hmm.
Well, half my body just went just buzzy numb, like that feeling you get, the numbing sensation, but half my body went numb.
Yeah.
And then I just had this weird sensation all over me. I started calling all kinds of relatives, like, yo, man, did somebody die or something like that? And it's like, 5 relatives. Everybody's like, nah, nobody died.
Yeah.
Next day, 9/11, dude. My friend was over. Another friend of mine called me. Like, I was like, dude, I had just talked to y'all about this stuff. It's craziness.
Yeah. I've had friends that didn't want it to turn out like this, but it seemed like the only time I ever talked to them was when I was calling them to let them know someone died. One of our friends from high school or whatever. And it got to the point where I would call one of these people and they would, I guess, dread taking the call because they thought someone else had died. Like, well, he's calling.
That guy.
Yeah, someone must have died. And yeah, I didn't like that. But yeah. So about your sleep paralysis, was it what you just talked about, or was there a separate No.
I've had occasions where okay, I want to say about 7 years ago, I got spinal surgery,
Mm-hmm.
and before that, I started having problems with numbness and like random numbness and everything like that. And there were times where it's like I'd be asleep and then my body would just absolutely like it'd be half my body. It'd literally lock up and everything like that. Like the left side would just randomly lock up in spots and everything.
Like a
And I could keep holding on.
like a cramp or
No.
Okay.
Like I lost control. Like my body was like half my body was like if I wanted to raise my hand and everything like that, like everything just kind of stretched out, nothing cramped,
Mm-hmm.
but I couldn't get my leg to come up. I couldn't get my shoulder to hump or nothing like that. But it happened on my left side a few times in my life.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's a really fucked up feeling because you're doing it in your sleep and you're like, why am I dragging myself?
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like when you wake up from that and it's like you feel like again, you feel that tingling sensation over half your freaking body.
Yeah. So I've never had that happen. I've had instances where I think I'm awake. I could be asleep. The mind does play tricks on me where I, think that I feel like pressure on the bed, like someone is like putting their hand next to me and pushing down.
Gotcha.
And, this was back before I had pets and before I had roommates or spouses. And so that's when this really will freak you out when there really should not be anything on your bed right now except you. And then you feel that, but it's just your mind messing with you, whether you're asleep or just half asleep. And, just like that whole, you think that you're falling and then you jump, but your body physically jumps at the same time where you're sort of half in, half out of sleep.
Like you're trying to do a lucid dream at one point.
Yeah. It's like I think we've all had that happen when taking naps in high school, where you get that sensation that you're falling, which jerks you awake, and then everybody is staring at you because you actually moved. You actually jerked out of your seat and knocked some books off or something.
Yeah, it's a position. Well, if you fall asleep in that position, it's typical that when you dream, you feel like you're off balance because you're in a sitting position as opposed to a laying position.
Yeah,
there have been studies on that whole concept of like falling asleep with that thought.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Definitely. The mind is just the best computer there is. I mean, it does. Everybody talks about how AI is so great, but it's just trying to become human. That's all.
Well, when it comes to a computer being great, until we truly get quantum mechanics or quantum computers, you're never going to get like those things solved that a human mind can solve.
Right. Yeah. And even that's freaky technology, even to just discuss it, how you could be dealing with alternate universes already, that it's doing calculations in other universes to make it, seem like it's happening instantly.
We cracked that code of getting below absolute zero, and computerized, the world is going to be a different place.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the one thing that's stopping a computer from being so cold that it can compute that quickly with that many calculations.
Yeah.
Temperature. I mean, sooner or later, somebody's going to figure out a way to be like, you know what, we're just going to take this. What are those thermals called where it's like one side's cold and the other side's hot?
I don't know.
Oh, man. The word's right there on the tip of my tongue, but I got Faraday in my head by accident.
Now, I know that the James Webb has like some sort of material, but it's not hot. It's hot on one side from the sun hitting it, and the other side is, close to, somewhat close to absolute zero. I don't know exactly how.
Right, because it's a reflective thing and it's thick enough that it doesn't go there.
Yeah, and it's so thin that you would think that the heat would transfer through it, but I guess it doesn't. Oh, and
that's why ceramic is used.
Patrick Stevens, have you ever fallen asleep with the television on and dreamt yourself into the TV show? Absolutely. And it's been some crazy, I've taken that show places it never could have expected to go. But I've definitely done
ironically,
that. What's that?
Sports.
Mm-hmm.
Sports. I'll find myself in a basketball game.
Yeah. Mike Demand says, Medusa has the face for radio and the voice of reason.
I love it.
I've always been told that I have the voice for newspaper, I got the face for radio and the voice of newspaper.
I was always told I have the sound of silence.
Yeah, but yeah, I have definitely done that so many times. Fallen asleep during like a marathon of The Simpsons, and geez, just some of the stuff that I put myself into, and I just wish that dreams would stick around. There's been so many crazy dreams that have happened that could have been life changing for someone if I could only written them down, but never will probably. And it's just
no dream diary, huh?
Yeah, exactly, and it's so crazy how the dream that you have, sometimes you wake up and you're not even sure, was that shit real? Am I remembering stuff, or was that a dream? And then an hour later, you can barely even remember what the dream was about.
Oh, absolutely. Once you have something that's distracting, like brush your teeth, you'll forget everything.
Yeah.
I know in my case, that's a funny thing that you bring that up. There have been a few times where some kind of stupid music would be on the TV when I'm asleep, and somehow my mind would write a rap.
Yeah.
And then it's like I wake up like, where the hell did I get this rap from? Like, it'd be some corny stuff like save big money at Menards, like that jingle.
Yeah.
But somehow I ended up writing a whole damn rap about like in my head.
I think like dreams and like say being high on like say pot. I can't speak for many other drugs, but I can speak for alcohol and pot at least, and how some of the thoughts that you have when high that you think are so deep, but then of course you can't remember them once you get sober. Like I remember being at parties where they had a DJ, and we're doing the spinning of the records, the two turntables, all that good stuff.
I grew up that way,
and I remember just sitting on the couch, being high, not talking to anyone, just so focused on that music that in my mind I was separating the sounds. I was separating the one turntable from the other. I thought in my mind I was able to like just break down like scientifically how this music was happening.
I know in my case, like I did tables like you. I did turntables for years as well, and I did a lot of stuff with break beats. I know to this day, no music means anything to me because I've got too much music jumbled up in my head from all the cuts and everything like that. Nothing ever makes sense to me. But if you gave me a turntable to play with, I'd have so much fun. But there's no music ever flatters me anymore. I guess that's what I'm saying.
I think we were talking a week or so ago about lucid dreams, the ones that really stick with you, the ones that you don't forget. And sometimes you can make them happen. Sometimes you just have a lucid dream and you remember it. Yeah. But then there's ways to force it. Why you would want to force it, that's up to whoever's trying to force it. But I used to write short stories, and you would get writer's block, or you would, couldn't think of anything to really write about that interested you. And so I would put a nicotine patch on my shoulder and go to sleep.
Yeah.
And it would give me some crazy lucid dreams. And I would wake up and I would write a story. I mean, they still sucked, but it worked.
You accomplished something.
I accomplished something, yeah. And there's like a scene in one of my stories where I stabbed a clown in the eye with a bottle of mustard and then squeezed the bottle of mustard. And just that, it wasn't the whole story. It wasn't anything about the story, but it was just that action that made it into the story. And so, if nothing else, it accomplished that.
Well, heck, I can't wait to read this short story right now because I can't remember last time I heard about someone getting stabbed.
Well, if you really want to, I will dig them up and send them to you. They're not very good, but it's words on paper.
Yeah.
H-Bomb says that he remembers a time he was stoned listening to Dane Cook's older album. I heard 100 times, but swore I heard new material. I think I've done that before too.
Eddie Murphy did that to me back when he did Raw and Delirious.
Yeah. Two of the best comedy albums ever, right there.
You just when you thought you heard everything, you're just like, wait a minute, I don't remember that part. Like You know you've heard Goonie Goo Goo 1,000. Buddy
And
fell down the stairs. Buddy fell down the stairs. But you always catch something.
and he was a very visual comic too. It's like he was very animated, and so it was a part of his show. But it really is a testament to his skill as a comedian that you could listen to Raw and Delirious on audio only, and it would still be hilarious. I mean, it wasn't you didn't have to see him. I mean, Richard Pryor was the same way. Richard Pryor was the same way. Red Fox, all the guys. Well, they kind of had to be, because that was an era when they didn't really have comedy specials on television. Definitely before HBO.
Richard Pryor, where it's on record, Richard Pryor at the Sunset Strip, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like you said, the Red Fox albums and everything like that. I got lucky enough as a kid that it's like a lot of these things got put on tape, like cassette tape.
Mm-hmm.
So we just go out in the backyard doing something, listening to it, and just end up cracking up. And then, jokes will go over your head when you're at this age. A year later, you still listen to the same thing. Now you get the joke.
Yeah, absolutely. There's so many like shows and movies that, when you're a kid, it goes over your head and you still think it was a great movie, thought it was funny, like Revenge of the Nerds. And then when you're older, then you start getting the jokes, and sometimes it doesn't even make it even funnier. It's just you just get it then. You got why they were doing it, like Lamar from Revenge of the Nerds. When I first saw that movie, I just thought he was just prancing around. I didn't know what the hell gay was at that age, I'm like, then you realize, oh, okay.
Or it's like you try to figure out, how did Booger end up in the Nerds? Well, when you get into high school, you start to see that, outcasts hang together.
Yeah.
Like, you wouldn't have figured the guy in the leather jacket be hanging with the guy with the pencil protector.
Yeah, he's not probably making very good grades, so why is he a nerd? But then again, you haven't seen Booger's report card, so we can't speak for that, I guess.
No. I think one of the things I was trying to bring up to a friend of mine not too long ago was the difference in our society now is versus the society that I grew up in as a child, which our generation rather, was pretty much the line that cut everything, was that everybody saw the exact same thing at the exact same time.
Yeah.
Like when JR got shot, everybody saw it. You didn't even watch Dallas, you saw it.
Yeah.
The last episode of MASH. The TV show V. When the TV show V came out, the next day, that's the only thing that be talked about.
That's right.
Or the A-Team. That's the only thing that get talked about, because we all had the same 3 channels.
Yep.
And the same 3 radio stations.
And it didn't really matter what your age was, because if you could have been, I remember seeing V, and I was in 2nd grade. I remember it clearly because I remember where I was living at the time when V was on.
Yeah. Freddy Krueger. What is Freddy Krueger doing in there?
Exactly. Yes. Good old Robert Englund.
Yes, sir. But yeah, where it's like everyone, basically we all had like an ant-like sense of life, where even though we were independent, like I said, everything was down to so few channels, so few radio stations. Everybody read the same damn magazine.
Yeah.
Like they had 6 magazines or whatever in the newspaper.
Yeah, the world seemed a lot smaller back then. The world just seemed smaller.
Right. And once we got I'm going to say personally, this is my personal belief. The invention of the iPod is the thing that stripped that whole ideal apart, because all of a sudden everybody got to listen to all their own music all the time. Like, even when you had tapes, you had to go to the store to get the tapes.
Yeah.
No, when everybody got an iPod, nobody listened to the same thing. It's like cable. It was like, okay, before when I was saying everyone watched the same thing, now it's 5 people that watch the same thing. Like, 5 people watch the VMAs, 5 people watch the game.
I don't know about iPods, but definitely like the whole Napster revolution, and whether it be iPod or being able to burn your own CDs, just making your own. Of course, that's just an extension of mixtapes, but on a bigger scale.
Like when you made a mixtape, it was probably from a tape you got from somebody else, or a CD you borrowed from somebody. So basically, you were still on the same rhythm as them.
Yeah.
But like you said, when you had your Napster come out, your Share Bear, your line where it took everybody where it's like all of a sudden, I didn't know this guy even listened to the Beatles.
Yeah.
I didn't know this guy listened to Elvis. But it's like nobody listens to the same thing anymore.
Yeah.
It took the radio. It just knocked the radio right out the game.
Yeah, radio is pointless these days. It seems like it's like if you decide not to pay for your Sirius XM, or let's say that for some reason your Bluetooth is acting up and on your phone, so you can't play your media. That's about the only time the radio even comes into play.
Exactly.
It's just built in and like, okay, it's there. I would rather.
9 out of 10 times when you go to those stations, they're not going to be the same stations you listened to 10 years ago. The whole program's going to be a different program.
Oh,
now.
yeah. In my case, we have a radio station here called Planet Radio, which was the alternative and everything. And it's still called Planet Radio. But now they play basically anything rock. Not just new stuff, but they'll play stuff from the Beatles. They'll play stuff from the 70s, the 80s, 90s. And they just sort of stay away from new stuff. So pretty much anything from
anything from 2010 on. Or
exactly. Yes.
On.
Exactly. Pretty much grunge and whatever came after grunge, which was I guess emo a little bit, emo and back.
Yeah, if you can think of anything in general that people have listened to, like that made world stage since 2015, I'd be shocked. And I'm not even going to say like Taylor Swift, but no. There's no genre of music anymore. Right,
and the ways to discover music are different now, and they're not as powerful. You had the old Columbia House, sending you CDs if you didn't respond, and a lot of people got money wasted on me, but that's how I discovered Nine Inch Nails back in '89. That was the collection of the month or whatever it was called. And I
learned about Nine Inch Nails because of the school I went to. I went from a Catholic middle school to a suburban high school, and man, that was like a trip.
Yeah.
Nine Inch Nails, Depeche Mode. Hell, I barely knew who Tom Petty was at that time. Who? I'm looking up here. The funny thing I'm looking at is that iPods were great. So sadly, I couldn't afford it.
Yeah.
I bought a Zune.
I did too. I never had an iPod. Never. I've never owned an iPod. I had a Zune. I loved the Zune. I thought the Zune was very unique. I never got to experience that whole wheel with the iPod. I have no. If someone gave me one today, I wouldn't even know what the hell to do with it. I don't know how that wheel thing works. The Zune was very different. It was very up, down, down.
Right.
And it had
I love the fact that it was so tiny. It was like you can carry around mini speakers all of a sudden, plugging in like an earphone, and basically the speakers were all the weight for the first time in your life.
Yeah.
Instead of a whole boombox.
Now my Zune was big. I had the big fat one, and so it was a little heavier, but it had that huge screen on it, and it also had an FM radio built into it, which I thought was very cool. It was just old mixed with new.
Yeah. That was a transition point that got killed. The FCC's laws and everything like that. Like, we're supposed to still have stuff with like actual FM connection and everything like that.
Yeah.
No, digital killed all that completely.
Family, so that's like how we are not talking about dreams, just nostalgia, which it's all memory, it's all mind, it all eventually makes its way back to dreams and thoughts. And now the person here in chat, I can't pronounce that, but I have seen this person in the comments, and so welcome. Oh, Tippy Tot. Okay. All right. Welcome, Tippy Toes.
I was going to say, kind of to quote Biggie, it was all a dream.
Yeah, this whole thing's a dream. I had MP3 players, but I have seen and held a broken iPod, felt very expensive.
I had an iPod at one point, and it was cool to have and everything, but it had a problem where I had to pop it open like so many times because it would just crash, and the only way you could fix it was you had to disconnect and reconnect the battery. Like, it was the craziest thing. And you get scared to bust something open when it's got the word Apple written on it.
Yeah. And one thing I didn't like about Zune was its software. It was terrible software for the computer. and it would always try to sync up. And it's like, you can't sync my music. I had too much music, even for how big the Zune was, which I think it was like 120 gigs or something, which was huge back then. I had a lot more music than that, and I can't sit there while you sync everything. I just wanted to upload whatever couple of hundred songs I wanted to upload. But they always had a problem doing that. But you find ways to make it work. You get it. Get it to do.
I like being able to convert the stuff I've made. Like when I was DJing, I'd put it on mini disc, and I'd be able to run it through my mini disc to get it on my MP3 player. That was huge because I love my mini disc player, but those things are too damn fragile to be walking around with like a Walkman.
Yeah, and remember back in before the internet got involved and started naming your tracks for you. I mean, you would go through and name every single track, and then when that technology came along to where the computer did it for you, it didn't get it right for quite a while, and it would screw up all your names. Oh my God, I remember so many hours just wasted naming and renaming tracks. Oh yeah. Of course, now it's perfect, and everything's fine.
I remember I wanted my experience digitally back when I was first started using it to feel like in the movie Blade, when the main vampire is just sitting there and he's like waiting on the files to download, like all the weird old files. And he's just sitting there, and his zoo's just like going perfectly. The files are going perfectly.
Yeah.
But no, reality was like you said. If you did anything for like 3 hours and you didn't click the right save button, it always would screw up somewhere in there. I
mean, now it's getting to that point, or it basically is at that point. If things went as smoothly as it does today, it would have been great. We would not know what to do with ourselves. Speed is wasted on us now, and I think now a lot of us have gotten older. It seems like the everything moves so much faster, and the days seem so much shorter. They go by so quickly. Next thing you know, I'll be dead. Where, from Christmas to Christmas took like 10 years to get to that point. Now it's like Christmas is almost here again. It's like right around the corner. Every time you blink your eyes, another couple of years have passed. It's very depressing. It really is.
Nah, I wouldn't take it like that. I do love the fact that things are going faster and faster. I look at it in kind of a Star Wars phase where it's like, that first time they went in the light, the first time somebody goes in the light speed, just absolutely blown away.
Yeah.
And, every time there's a big jump in the world, be it positive or negative, I'm always taken aback, and I'm just looking around like, wow. Like, I couldn't imagine, back in, 81, the guy who made the car that ran on, gas vapor, like, I couldn't imagine right now the reality of the Toyota Prius. I thought we might have had spaceships or some Star Wars shit, but the real mechanics that have happened, oh, man. What's that man's law behind the chipset that every 18 months that technology is going to double itself?
I don't know.
Oh, man, I'm kicking myself for not remembering. What? Man, I just about... Oh, okay. Love the band Live, and I had to buy their album. I don't remember a band named Live.
Oh, yeah, Live, throwing copper or something like that.
Yeah.
Now, not necessarily to do with the band Live, but I remember there being gaps in music that you're looking for. And sometimes people would put up fake music. Like there were so many tracks that I had that were supposedly by Weezer that turned out to be by completely different people, or some asshole would upload a corrupted file and it would get spread around to everyone. And so, those are the days. And it's
kind of like when the Wolverine movie came out with the bad graphics.
Yeah, Star Wars was another one. One of the first, I think, movies I downloaded off the internet was Episode 1. And it was terrible. Terrible movie theater footage shot on Viewmaster, it seemed like. It was terrible.
I remember I used to buy my bootleg CDs, my bootleg DVDs. I was living in Flint at the time, and my local liquor store used to sell them. He had them 3 for $5, man.
Yeah.
So it's like, paycheck day, let me go get 3 bootlegs, man. I was living in a crappy place. I had crappy friends. No, we're going to do crappy things.
Yeah.
Flint was fun, though.
Yeah.
And I got out before they messed up the water.
Yeah. That's good because, that water is something else.
If you ever went to Flint, you'd be shocked about it'd just be like one street's full of houses, the street right over next to it, one house on the whole block.
Yeah.
Then another, it's just so picked out and random. And every house that's not occupied has no copper left. Like the copper's all being stripped.
They've gone like just completely ripped apart the air conditioning if they have air conditioning, and there's some places up north don't even have central heat and air. I'm not so sure about Michigan.
Yeah, Michigan typically does.
Yeah.
Here's a funny story about Flint with the copper deal. Okay, everybody knows Flint was famous for cars and such. Well, after a lot of these plants had gotten closed down, these 6 people had this idea that in this one plant, they went around and they stripped all the copper out of this actual, like they tried to strip all the copper out of the actual plant. It got to the point where they were using the golf carts that were left by GM in the place to travel with stuff around.
Yeah.
And by the time they got caught, I think they had something like they had already cashed out $4 million in copper. Like, imagine their copper guy every day. Like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, imagine how much copper it would take to get $4 million worth of copper. Jesus, that had to be like just hundreds of pounds. I mean, I can't even.
$3 a pound.
Jesus, yeah.
Oh my God, it was just the craziest thing. And the thing that stuck out most was the fact that they had it so well planned. Like they go in every night, and police aren't driving around. It's an old abandoned factory.
Oh yeah.
And they'd just be driving around. Like I said, they'd have the GM golf carts just filled with copper in the back, taking them out to their vehicles.
Yeah.
Like, wow. Like, of all the things you could have done with that business, like, just imagine, like, that could have been like a roller skating rink or some shit. Like, you could have did a Matt Crash derby in that place with golf carts.
Tippy toes, so it reminds him of pennies, which, hell, pennies aren't even made of copper anymore, right? And
no, they're zinc and nickel. And
I think whatever they're made of is still worth more than the actual penny, which is, I guess that's why they're phasing them out anyways.
I don't think it's good to phase out a number that's so basic. But I still take my pennies with me. Like, I try to keep 9 pennies in my pocket all the time. So it's like, I'm just keeping to the cause of like keeping it going.
Yeah. I haven't seen cash in who knows how long.
I keep a 50-50 mix,
Yeah.
I have drug dealers. I mean, I don't feel comfortable cash apping my dope, man. I'm just going to say I'm old.
Oh, yeah, there you go. Yeah, you don't want to do that. But I noticed that Tippy Toes was in chat and didn't know if you had any sleep paralysis experience. We were talking about that at the beginning of the show. Really getting into sleep paralysis and, waking up and not being able to move, feeling things on you, seeing creatures, humanoids, shadow people, Hat Man. And that's kind of what this whole show format I'm trying to go towards. Just all about ripping off Art Bell. That's basically what we're doing.
Did you ever have like I think we kind of overlooked the fact that what we think of as like ESP is really just the hairs on our neck raising up, like any animal.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like, they say if you try to attack a roach from the back, it catches it has like extra sensors on the back of itself that are like extra sensitive to wind coming at it, so it knows to flee.
And it's a different size. Time, space is different for tiny animals. I mean, I see it with Charlie, and Charlie's just a little dog, but yet so many things. We're big, dumb, clumsy humans. We always knock things off the counter. She has never been hit by something because she will dodge it.
Yeah,
it's like
the dog's always looking up.
Yeah. And that's just that big. Imagine something the size of an ant, or you said a roach. It's like there's things going on that we can't see that they can, and so hell, there could be like you said, the wind moves differently. It's like, have you ever tried to hit a fly with your hand?
Yes.
And it's like it's almost impossible unless they're like a week old and they've gotten too fat and too slow to really move. For the most part, you're not going to get them unless you get really lucky or use a fly swatter, which...
I get them when they wake up at like 7 o'clock when the sun comes up. They're barely up.
Hey, cringe minions in chat, welcome.
What's up, Heretic?
And let's see. I've sleepwalked on rare occasions, Heretic Fringe.
Wow.
Once I almost committed sewer slide, and it was terrifying. Ooh.
Oh, boy.
Oh, yeah. So just walking and then almost walked off a damn bridge or off a building. Damn.
I don't think I've ever woken up where I've been standing up or it's like I got myself in a sitting position.
Yeah.
I got a brother. He religiously swings. Like, you think he's being rocked back and forth by a person. Like, it was disturbing to watch when I was a kid. Like, what the hell? How do you sleep like that?
Yeah.
And he wouldn't even know he was doing it. I mean, we're talking like he should have woke up sweating. That's how fast he'd be doing it.
Yeah, yeah. And a lot of times they'll say you shouldn't wake people up who are doing that. It could freak them out or whatever. Maybe that's just movies I saw that say that. But I've never experienced that either. If I woke up where I didn't know where I was, I don't know what I would do unless I was drinking. I mean, that I could understand, but to sleepwalk and wake up somewhere where you did not start off at, that would freak me the hell out.
I'd want the men with the white jackets to come get me if it happened. Probably.
Yeah.
Like, what did I do wrong? Hey, Cringe says he's going to call too.
All right. Well, we only got one line, so we'll have to finish our call up. Until we get rich and famous and can afford a switchboard, which that ain't gonna happen. So we'll just take it.
Ooh.
We'll take it call by call.
Wow, look at this guy with plans to get snooty in his 50s.
Yeah. Like I said, if you're gonna rip off Art Bell, you might as well go big. See, family says, OMG, had a sleepwalk experience in the dorms. Was standing in someone's room late at night. I was so shocked. That sounds like that movie Joker with
Joaquin Phoenix.
Joaquin Phoenix, yeah. Just creeping in that next door lady's house. Which he didn't he would dream other people's reaction to him. Not really, a little bit different, yeah. Still delusion.
I didn't follow the movie that much. I don't know. I guess I was doing something else when I was trying to watch it.
I liked it. I liked the movie. The second one was okay, but I did like the Joker movie. I think it's funny. It's like two Batman movies in a row, or two Joker themed whatever that won Oscars. Heath Ledger, which he did a great job, but they did give him the Oscar, I think, because he died.
Wasn't Heath Ledger also in the AC/DC rock band Night movie? It was a movie about nights, but all the music was AC/DC.
I don't know. I'm not sure about that one. Let me see what we have here on IMDb. We'll check.
Standing with a locked, loaded pew. Oh, that's a nightmare.
Ooh, goddamn.
He woke with that piece in his hand.
Shit. Yeah, we don't want that going around.
Yeah, that's when you want the people in the white jackets.
Yeah. All right, let's look up Heath Ledger. You think it was before Dark Knight?
Yeah, it was one of his first movies.
Okay, one of his first movies. I know he was in some romance.
I want to say it might be before Cat People.
Yeah. There was like A Knight's Tale.
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah,
okay.
That's the one with the AC/DC.
Yeah, because there was a lot of movies that my wife watched when she was younger. Because he was like, a little teenage heartthrob. 10 Things I Hate About You, I believe, was one of her movies that she liked when she was younger.
There's a guy that looks almost like him that always got confused for years. He was in a Stephen King movie where it was a mother and a son.
Oh yeah, that was Sleepwalkers.
Yeah, I always get that guy and Heath Ledger confused whenever I see him on camera.
I can see that. I see that. Yeah, Sleepwalkers is Brian Krause.
Okay, yeah, he was on that show with the three chicks, the magic show. With Shannon Doherty and Alyssa Milano. Charmed. Yeah,
Charmed. Yep, he was Leo Wyatt in that show. He was also in Return to Blue Lagoon. Damn.
Yep.
That's getting way back there.
He was a kid.
Yeah.
That was 86.
The Return was 91.
91, okay.
Yeah. Now, Blue Lagoon, I think, was
84.
Let me see.
No, it was before 84 because she went out with Michael Jackson in 84, on some award thing. So maybe 82.
80 actually.
Gotcha.
1980. It's one of the few movies that were not made in 86. Because, you know.
Yeah, Brooke Shields is a kid, man.
Yeah.
They had her movies like that was like $1 million right there off the bat.
Yeah, and she was probably a little too young to be not wearing some of the things that she was not wearing in that movie.
Yeah. But then again, at that time, she was basically a model but an actress.
Yeah. It was a different time period, too.
They would throw clothes on her.
Different time period, too. They could get away with a lot more. Whether it was right or wrong, it happened.
Yeah, that's why we got so many B-rated scary movies.
Yep, absolutely. Well, I, for one, want to hear Cringe Minion's deal. If you are still up for it, Cringe. But I definitely appreciate you calling Medusa, making this show exciting, having the first real call-in.
Ooh.
That's right.
I got first. I get to say first.
There'll never be another first. It's you. There'll always be you.
Down here from now on.
Moshi Media.
Oh, I need to put some bass in my voice. What up, Mosh?
Welcome, Mosh. How's it going?
Mosh, hey.
And
you love tearing me up with the bass in the voice, man. That'll come up every day randomly. Like, I'll be in somebody's chat, and Medusa, put some bass in your voice.
Yeah.
I love it.
I mean, it's definitely a setting, you know, all the radio people, you know, they don't have bass in their voice like that. It's all fake. Yeah. It's all fabricated bass.
It's what was that movie, Wayne's World, when Wayne met the DJ?
Mm-hmm.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
You're expecting this really handsome, perfect chin guy, and then the guy from The Simpsons comes up.
Yeah. It's like I said, you got the face for radio, the voice for newspaper.
Yeah. Cringe, are you ready to come up?
See if Cringe Minion is still in chat and if he wants to make the phone call. Let's see, it was Vibe. What was Vibe? The magazine?
Hey, I used to love Vibe magazine.
All right, Cringe is calling, so I will talk to you again soon, Medusa. Appreciate you again.
Absolutely.
Talk
Everyone,
to you.
Have a great night and be amazing out there.
See you later.
Peace.
All right, the call is done, and we will answer as soon as Cringe Minion makes the call. I assume that Google Voice has call waiting, so if he did call while we were still connected, it should have still popped up. All right, well, I should hear it when it pops up. Hope you guys enjoyed that. I said, for one, I'm looking forward to Cringe Minion's experience. Make sure I had the phone number up there still. There we are. And you are on the air. Cringe Minion.
Howdy.
Good to hear from you. How are you doing tonight?
Good. Just getting ready. We're going to a car show tomorrow, so it's been get ready day.
What kind of cars? Old or sports or muscles or everything?
Sounds like a mix of everything. Classics. So I'm bringing the 442 out there to Orange County, so it's a little bit of a drive.
Yeah. We have some semi-famous one around here. I can't remember what it's called. It's like some kind of French name. La Course, or I can't even remember.
Oh, the Concourse?
Yeah, Concourse de Elegance or something like that.
Oh man, those are when you get the Concourse cars in. That's some real shit.
It's like there's like $1 million cars just crazy rolling around this shitty town. Like, damn.
You know when they're in town, yeah.
Oh yeah, it's not the day to go out and eat that day. No. I'm just gonna stay home.
Yeah. Plus they park all their trailers and whatnot because very few of those cars will actually drive in.
Oh God, yeah. There's a few of them, but it is funny watching some of these people try to drive some of these cars in this small town. I'm like, you shouldn't be doing that. That car is not made to go 25 miles an hour.
Yeah.
It's like the only time that you could do 25 miles an hour in a car like that is if you're stopping. And you know.
Yeah. I mean, at our little property, I think the speed limit is, 15?
Yeah.
So I'm riding the brake the entire time in the 442. It's just not going to do it.
Yeah. It's like some of those cars. I remember I had a BMW, and it wasn't the greatest BMW. It was just a piece of shit. And I think it said that you could go 40, 45 in first gear. Just how crazy how it's geared that way.
The German engines are something, man. Even the 2 Series, they're still all right for what they are.
Yeah. Mine was a 325 ES and 86. So even even back then, you know, it was I mean, you shouldn't go 45 miles an hour in first gear, but it could. It just
Yeah, you'll smell a little something. But
yeah, exactly. And you can also I also got to where I could shift gears without using the clutch at all. Probably not a good thing either, but you know, what can you do?
If you know what you're doing, you don't need it.
Yeah, you do it right in the perfect, and you know and if that's your car and you drive that damn car every single day, it sort of becomes like an extension of you. So you feel what that car feels.
Especially the manuals.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely, absolutely. That's where I learned to drive a manual, and driving a regular manual after that is a little weird. You know, it's the reverse is in a completely different place, and
yeah, I do okay on the older ones, but like for instance, my lady, she's got I think it's an 18 Subaru, and it's manual, 14, and I wouldn't know what the to do with that thing. There's so many gears and placements.
And hell, even the automatics now, of course, have those like fake gear shifter things where you can pretend to go. You could actually go in first, second, third, fourth, and it's just weird. It's like why do that? You know, you don't have a clutch.
Those paddle shifters are really strange.
Yeah. And it's like it's a novelty. It's like, yeah, I could put it in the manual mode, and sure, I can go from third to fourth to slow down like you would with a manual, you know, to piss people off and not use your brake ever. I'm sure people would hate me for that. You know, you would come to a complete stop at a stoplight and never use your brake. And I don't know how other people felt about that behind me, but probably wasn't a great experience.
I mean, it's a fun little trick, though,
to
make sure somebody's paying attention.
Oh, yeah.
Most time not, though.
Let's see what we got here. Do you mean paddle shifters? The grammar. Yeah, my Camaro has paddle shifters. Mine's not a paddle shifter. It's a regular automatic. It's got the, you know, park, reverse, neutral, all that stuff. But if you take it and push it over to the left, it goes into this fake manual mode. And then you can push up to go up a gear. And it's not even like can't explain it exactly. It's not a clicking mechanism, but it's almost like there's a soft sort of shift. Like I said, it's very strange, and it's in a Kia. So granny gear. So I'm not really sure what you would call it. I could probably pull the manual out and figure it out, but not going to. But you can actually shift all the way up to fifth gear, and you can go all the way down to first gear. But now, if you're in fifth gear and you hit that thing like 5 times, it's not going to go into first gear. It's not going to ruin your car. It's got the safety there where it's not going to do something to hurt itself, which means it's not a manual. It's still an automatic. If you can't blow up your own car, then it's not real. It's not a real manual transmission.
Well, we have seen videos of these idiots in AMGs and stuff like that trying to do burnouts, and they don't realize their car is all-wheel.
Yeah.
And, it fries it. There's some really funny videos of dipshits doing that.
Yeah. So you said that you had a story.
Yeah, it's a short one, but a weird one. When I was in my 20s or so, I had a pretty hairy motorcycle accident where this car shot out in front of me. I broadsided him, flew over the roof, all that, landed square on my back. So next thing I know, I'm in the hospital. And they're doing the x-rays and all that stuff. And I find out I think it was L2 through L4 were pretty up.
Mm-hmm.
And then they go, hey, have you ever had neck surgery? I'm going, oh, how up am I? Am I about to? What's going on? And they go, well, we've got this image coming up on the x-ray here, and we'll have you take a look at it. And there's this, in my left, I guess that muscle on the side of your neck, there's a pretty sizable metal rod in there. And they're like, you never had a neck injury, no surgery? They go, no. And they go, well, it's embedded into your muscle, and there's no way to get this thing out, and there's no wound. So what do you know about it?
Yeah.
that's what I know about it, what you just told me.
Yeah.
But,
So it's like, how did it get in there? I mean, is it still in there, or did it finally push itself out?
Nope, still in there
Still
as
in
far
there?
as I know. I've never had anything come out or into there, and I am at a complete loss. I've asked my mom, hey, when I was a kid, did something happen to me? And she's like, fuck no, what do you
Yeah.
mean? And I'll have to find those x-rays, and I'll post them on Discord.
Yeah,
or
that'd
something.
be cool.
They're somewhere.
Yeah, my stepdad had a motorcycle accident, like 40 or 50 years ago, real bad one. And he said even to this day, road rash will come up. Like some of the stuff that was buried into him is still, after 40 or 50 years, is still making its way to the surface. Just crazy how
shooting out chunks of asphalt every now and again.
Yeah, that's just insane how things can get inside of us and our body rejects it. It's like, nope, I'm getting rid of this somehow. It might take a long time, but it's coming out. But now having stuff in, that's crazy. And then there's no
wound. There's like a little mole there, but it's definitely not a wound. And they took a few more x-rays just to be sure it wasn't, some kind of a shadow or whatever.
Yeah.
And it came up every single time.
Almost wonder if you take like a metal detector and see if you can, find it yourself, like with just regular commercial equipment.
Well, here's the part where I was kind of like, okay, either I'm going to die right now or I'm going to say something. I decided just to shut the up because it's a weird thing to explain.
Mm-hmm.
And I was going into the MRI a couple, I'd say, weeks later, and they were double checking me, and I'm going, if this thing can be activated by magnets, it's going to come flying out of my neck in this thing, and I'm going to die.
Yeah.
But I decided to bite my lip just to see what would happen, and I'm okay.
Yeah. So maybe whatever metal it was could have been stainless or something, which might not affect it. I know usually stainless steel is not too magnetic.
Yeah, I don't know what type of composite it is, but yeah, there's something in there. I can't feel it. I can turn my neck and all that.
Yeah.
I spent all throughout my 20s not even knowing it was there.
Of course, aliens probably have, much a different table of elements. They probably have some different kinds of metals. So it could be that.
Yeah, my lady was talking about having it extracted. There's some guy a couple towns over. He was on Ancient Aliens and whatnot, and he extracts what people think are, I don't know, like animal tags or whatever that aliens put in people. And
mm-hmm.
I was kind of like, well, if they take this thing out, it's probably going to kill me, or my neck's going to fall to the left and never be okay again. Oh, she says he died.
But yeah, that would be, that would be crazy to get that out of you and like have someone examine it. And it's like, what are you going to find out? Is it going to be just a blank piece of nothing? Or is it going to be like Blade Runner? And someone, enhance, and you find a goddamn serial number on it or something. Or
well, if I croak before her, I'll have her get it extracted out of me.
Put it in the will.
Yeah, I'll do a little extra line in there to see what the this thing is.
Yeah, I've never had any strange items like that in me. That's for sure. I've had.
No, I mean.
Go ahead.
Oh, I was saying. Well, I guess at least it wasn't my ass. That was.
Yeah, there you go.
But it's in my neck.
But I was going to say that I've had a gallbladder attack with no gallbladder. So there's that. That's a little weird, but.
Jesus. Okay.
But that was easily explained, I guess, by the doctors, and that was, I guess, when they removed my gallbladder, there was, I guess, a loose one or something. And so, it wasn't years after. It was like months after my gallbladder was removed that I had another flare-up. And so there was a gallstone still floating around somewhere that was hiding that they didn't find when they took the gallbladder out. And so, yeah, imagine my surprise. I'm still getting that same, that there's a very distinct feeling you get when you have a gallbladder attack. And it's like, why am I getting this feeling? I shouldn't have this. I don't have one of those anymore. And so, yeah, that was a nice
gallbladder. Yeah,
of course, no discount on the bill, of course. You would think there might be.
Oh, Christ, no. They want their money.
Yeah, cringe. Show us on the doll where the alien touched you. There you go.
Yeah, I don't recall any bright lights or anything like that. So I don't know. It's possible.
Yeah, like I said, I love that kind of stuff. The aliens, even thinking about this stuff, and I just never had any of those experiences. So I love listening to those people who have had those experiences, and some are crackpots, some, you just can't explain. I mean, what do you think? Do you think there's stuff out there, or do you think that there is, if we are the people out there, just advanced versions of us?
I don't know, man. I mean, I guess it would be arrogant to think, the universe is so big that we're the only things in it.
Yeah.
But thinking about how they would get here, that's kind of the boggling part.
Yeah. And if they showed up tomorrow, it's like, unless they're so advanced that they can do that kind of travel immediately, they took a long time to get here. And they're not here to just say hi. They're either going to be here as refugees or they're going to take over.
Yeah, I think if they're advanced enough to get here, it's probably a bad thing.
Yeah. Exactly. Unless they can get here immediately, which, then you get into the whole, is faster than light travel possible, or the whole folded space, going, shortcut, wormholes and stuff like that. Like maybe they could do it where they could get here immediately, but if they could, why haven't they been here yet? So, yeah, I think that it's going to be scary. It is scary, the stuff that goes on even now with the whole the whole Tic Tac thing, the Navy and the Tic Tac footage.
Oh yeah, where they were interviewing the gray alien, I think it was.
No.
Or is that a different thing?
No, it was the one that the Navy came out with. That they confirmed it. There was this small little tip. No, it's not small, but it looked like the shape of a Tic Tac, and it could accelerate, basically way past the sound barrier, like in like second, like just like a second, and there would be no sonic boom. And
yeah, I do remember that now, and these are actual war fighter pilots that are seeing it. So
yeah, and it's still going on, and it's still happening. It's not like it was just a one-time thing. It was like it happens apparently a lot, even still, and they can't figure out what it is, because anytime they try to get close to it, it just immediately just poof, gone, goes away.
Yeah, that one's weird, and we do have that. What's it called? The Black Knight.
Mm-hmm.
That one that's orbiting, and they don't know what the heck it could be, but it's pretty goddamn big.
Yeah. Then there's the ones that are like they could be asteroids, like that Amanama, whatever it's called, or looks like a big piece of big turd in the solar system. It's something like Amanama or something like that, but it's they have, can't really say footage because you can't really get a picture of it, but it just accelerating and slowing down and stuff that a rock shouldn't be able to do.
Yeah, there's things we're never going to find out in our lifetime.
Yeah.
Hopefully. I'd be kind of shitting my pants if we found out during our lifetime.
Yeah, that I don't know about either. I mean, being able to upload yourself digitally, I think, is going to be around sooner than later. Maybe in our lifetime. But if it is in our lifetime, we probably won't want to do it.
No, the world's had enough of me.
Exactly. Yeah, where the kids today, maybe they'll do it earlier on and be able to not be quite so bitter digitally. But yeah, I think
I guess
if they haven't lived to death, I guess a good way to put it, A lot of old people, they just want to go. It's just their time. They don't want to live forever. It comes to a point in time where everything hurts.
Yeah. It's kind of some relief, and that's the only kind you're going to get.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not at that point yet, but, something hurts. Something new hurts every day. It's coming. And so the last thing you want to do is extend that forever. But then again, digital, is going to end up having its own weird issues. Like, are you going to have phantom pains whenever you are a digital person and you're uploaded to whatever cloud you are being kept, and who's going to pay for all of this? Are you going to be able to talk with other digital people without ads popping up before you speak?
That too, and like you said, is it going to be just a digital hell where you're in pain?
Exactly. Because, you still remember pain, and the brain is a messed up thing that can make you feel things that you don't feel. People have their fingers cut off, and their damn finger hurts for years afterwards, and there's no finger there.
Yeah. Or is it going to end up being science like Ted Williams' frozen head, where it's just a frozen cryogenic head?
Absolutely. And so
that was the weird story. I'll keep it short and not hog up the line here.
Well, I do appreciate you coming on. There will never be another second caller to the show. Never will there be another second caller. So you are always and forever going to be the second caller to the show.
My wife calls me number 2 all the time.
Sweet. Guess number 2 is number 2 with corn. Yeah. That's so. Anyways,
all right. I'll see the rest. See y'all in chat.
I appreciate you, Cringe. Have a good evening.
All right. You too now.
All right, let's see if I missed anything in chat here. Aliens put metal in Cringe Minion. Patrick Stevens got the alien implant. Cringe Minion is actually the Wolverine metal skeleton. Tippy toes, metal not found on Earth. I'm guessing if we ever meet other intelligent life, it will be silicone based. That's probably pretty true, Medusa. I think it was me and Tippy Toes talking about that. How I could definitely see another life form being silicone based, or any other kind of element that, seems, not carbon. I also believe the next life we meet will be quadrupedal. Bipeds are more of an anomaly of life. And they, people have talked about how aliens could, show up tomorrow to want to take over and steal our resources, like our water. And I got to thinking that, is water really that rare that you want to come to this place where there's already an infestation of humans that you have to deal with to get your water? Or would you go to a place like, what is it? It's escaping me right now, but Europa, planets that are completely frozen, that have this just massive ocean under the ice. Apparently more water than Earth has. It's like, if you're wanting water, it's out there, and it's in our own solar system. And I guess there's like tons of water vapor, like in the gas giants. So water is everywhere. So it's not water they're after. What are they after? Who knows? But no matter what they are after, they're not gonna be here just to hang out, or just. It's not gonna be like. What was that movie called? Division 8, Division 9, Division 10, whatever it was. The one that was in South Africa where they were refugees. If I were made of nitrogen, I would look for a planet that had nitrogen, which is, what we are, mostly. So 75% nitrogen is what our atmosphere is made up of, I believe. And another thing that I was thinking, which just escaped it went away. It's gone now. Just like that. That's what happens when you're old. Penguins will rule the earth. Hey, penguin, welcome. Patrick's Stevens. I have met some silicone-based women. Yes, I think we all have. But there was something I wanted to say, and I can't remember now. Something to do. Oh, yeah, I think it was Europa. Europa is like the only place that has an atmosphere that we could actually breathe. And so if you were taken to the surface of Europa and dropped there, you could survive, you could breathe. I mean, you would freeze to death in like less than a minute, but let me just check on that to make sure I've just not just told you a lie that I had as a fever dream one night. I think it was Europa. Let's see. Can you breathe on Europa? Okay, no, you could not believe. Okay, maybe it's not Europa. What's the other one that has the? Because there's two of them. There's Europa, and then there is maybe it's Titan. I don't know. I know maybe it was a fever dream. Maybe I'm just making stuff up, but I swear there was a moon in this solar system that has an atmosphere, that has nitrogen, mostly nitrogen. Let's see, nitrogen, atmosphere, moon in our solar system. Planet 9, there you go. Saturn's moon Titan is the only moon in our solar system with a dense nitrogen-rich atmosphere. So maybe that's the one. Titan's atmosphere has weather patterns similar to Earth with clouds, wind, and rain, though the rain is liquid methane. So maybe that's the one I was thinking of, that you could theoretically be dropped like a teleported to the surface of Titan and be able to breathe, but for a very short period of time, because not only is it ice cold, but it's not exactly the same. It's mostly nitrogen and methane. So it's like my house on Burrito Weekend, which I've survived Burrito Weekend every single time. Thank you, giant telescopes and satellite. Fart rain, yeah. Speaking of telescopes, there is a telescope that I saw advertised in somebody's video. Of course, don't want to advertise any stuff like that. But this actually seemed pretty decent. And it's called the Dwarf Lab Dwarf 3 Smart Telescope. It's like all of these telescopes that you always see are either gigantic, they're big tubes, where this one was almost like a digital camera, but it's supposedly a telescope, which I'm going to look it up on its own website. Let's see, Dwarf 3 Smart Telescope. There we are. Okay, dwarflab.com, and we will go over to this one right here. So yeah, this right here, it's $550, which that seems in line with some of the decent hobby telescopes. Not trying to say that anyone who is a scientist has got one of these, but world's most portable and all around smart telescope. And that's what I would definitely need, is a smart telescope, because I've used telescopes before and they suck, having to, try to fine tune it, where it's, if you have coordinates, there's GPS, everything's already there. It's like, why not just let it do what it can do based on all of our technology and find what you're looking for? I mean, sure, I guess you don't get the practice of searching for things, or the being able to find something by accident. Maybe, I guess I could see that. Most modern telescopes are digital, and I know the ones that the high dollar ones, that even the ones that are still the long tube, what are those called, like the Galilean telescopes, they will move based on digital stuff, being able to pinpoint at least where the computer tells it you're looking. So I think this right here would be a nice, cool thing to play around with. But maybe one day if the price goes down, $550 is still quite a bit. We have the Dwarf Mini, though. How much is the Dwarf Mini? Now, if we get something around, $150, $200, that might be a little bit better. Or is it going to be, in this case, smaller size means more expensive? All right, so it's $400. That's so. You probably go on Amazon. You might be able to find a used one for less than that. So it's decent enough. Of course, I think about that stuff and I think, oh, we could do live streams. No, it would never happen. It would never, ever, ever happen. Just like my microscope that I had all these grand plans of making videos and doing that stuff on live stream. Never has it happened. That orthoscope that I can stick in my ear, never has it come into play. Never will it come into play. Anyways. Oh, man. Medusa says, remember, if you're in a city, it's going to cost a lot more to see deeper because of the city lights. Absolutely. I don't know. I know that I'm near a fairly large city, Jacksonville, which screws everything up. I think the only, benefit where I am, you could at least go to the ocean. And there's no city lights towards the ocean, but you've got the lights all behind you that are going to still affect it. So there's nothing that can really beat living in the middle of nowhere for something like that. I guess that's why all the best places to see that kind of stuff are like in the big open sky areas, places like Alaska, places like Australia, where there's just not a damn light anywhere around for hundreds of miles. So I've never really wanted to go see Australia for any other reason. I mean, it's hot. Everything can kill you. But I think that would be a valid reason to go to Australia, is to spend time just camping in the middle of nowhere, just to really see the night sky for once in my life. The way that it's been shown on TV and movies, and just where it's just black and just nothing but stars, and you can just see the other galaxies and stuff. That one band where I guess that's just part of our galaxy. I don't know. California desert is where I saw the most stars. There might be some places in Florida that you could go. I'm trying to think right now. I mean, it's very flat here. Yeah, the Astro Belt. It's very flat here, so you don't have to really worry about, like, seeing around mountains or something like that. I mean, almost everything here is between 0 feet above sea level to like 25, 30 feet above sea level. But it's just that there's so many cities around. There's no place where there's like hundreds of miles of desert or anything like that. There's the Everglades. That's the only exception I can think of. But who wants to go in the middle of the Everglades and just lay down? You'll get eaten by an alligator. I'm probably at risk of eating my alligator right now. And so I'm definitely not going to go in the middle of the Everglades and chance that. Oh, anyways, this Dwarf Mini Smart Telescope is not available yet. So you're not going to find it cheaper, most likely. It says pre-order. So I don't know when it's actually coming out. Dwarf Mini pre-order is available in the US, UK, and European Union. Estimated to be shipped from December. Okay, so it's coming out very soon. I personally want to go to Morocco to see the world's largest solar tower. Yeah, we'll have to do a UIS field trip one of these days and just go somewhere. See who comes back alive, who doesn't. All right, everyone. I really hope you guys enjoyed this. Let me know in the comments and all that stuff if you're not watching this live. I'm definitely fine-tuning things. This is not going to be an every night thing. I want to do this maybe once a week or something. And I like the name, All Good People Are Asleep and Dreaming, which is from a Skinny Puppy song. And so I like it. I like the thumbnail. I made that thumbnail myself with AI, and it, I thought it did a pretty good job. I explained exactly to Google Gemini what I wanted, what I was doing, and had it make something. And it made the sleep paralysis in line with UFOs and stuff like that. So I thought AI did a good job, and then I took it from there. So I hope you all enjoy the rest of your Friday. I'm going to try to stream again soon. Not sure what, but there are a few people that I've found that I want to show off. Some interesting folks. We like those. But that's not going to be this show. And this show, like I said, we'll try to do once a week as topics come up. If you have a topic that you think would be a good fit for us, that deals with the strange and unusual and supernatural, UFOs, crazy brain things, whatever, I am up for it. So I hope you all enjoy the rest of your evenings, and we will see you in the next video. Goodbye.
Oh, the checks roll in like waves on the sea from Mr. McGee and sweet Aunt Marie. $1 here, $1 there from folks who truly care. They're the heroes of this plot, giving all the cash they've got. Thank you for the dough. You make our hearts aglow. From pennies to the grands, you're the ones who lend a hand. Oh, thank you. Oh, thank you. Oh, thank you for the dough. spending coins in a jar, while old man Joe just sold his car. Little Timmy broke his piggy bank to give a gift we'll always thank. They're the champions of our tale, keeping us from going stale. Thank you for the dough, you make our hearts aglow. From pennies to the grands, you're the